As a matter of fact, let's get into it. First of all, of course, rest in peace to the one and only Quincy Jones, man. Oh my God, Q.
Well,
Q,
it's a good life. I mean, 90.
90's pretty good.
He made it.
So
He made when you make it to 90. If you make it to 90, then you've done. I'd say you've done pretty good.
you make it to 90 and you've been rich since the 70s.
Yeah,
It's a good life.
He's been rich since the 70s.
Oh yeah, brother. He was
Imagine all the
producing,
rich people stuff he
doing
did.
his thing. I think that matters.
I think he could talk trash to just about anybody at that point, because at some point it's like there's a thing where I think when you cross a certain amount of like age where people can't like be mad at you for anything. And so I feel like maybe he's at that spot, or he was at that spot for a while, where they were like, "Oh, he's rich," or "Oh, he's just old," you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool. 90 years old is a good life, dude.
Yeah,
RIP.
man. Yeah, man. He made it tonight. And brother, I'm telling you, there's not. I posted about that. There's not enough room on any of the internets to talk about all of the stuff that he did. It's just been like you have to look him up. He's one of these people, man, that you really have to just look at the amount of accomplishments that he made just to see, the barriers he broke, the way he took orchestra and jazz and a lot of the stuff, like a lot of the Michael Jackson stuff that he produced, that has a lot of jazz and orchestra type. The way it's produced is not necessarily the instruments, but the way it's that he produced it. He turned human beings into instruments with their voices. Just incredible.
I know Will Smith called him the alchemist or whatever, and that like he ended up what was it? He had a prominent feature in the book, in Will's book I was listening to for a while. And I actually still go back to it and listen to it every now and then. And there was no paralysis through analysis or whatever.
Yes, sir.
And so I try to use that in my life when it comes to like pursuits, and it was kind of interesting to have that be something. And then you have the Weeknd's. I want to say it was his most recent album. It's this is a throwback to last week when we're talking about what do you have, like the most charted singles or something like that on Spotify.
First person to have 20 that have 1 billion streams.
Yeah.
Yes.
And on his album Don FM, he has Quincy Jones like kind of, I guess, doing epilogues and like he's talking on there. And it's really neat because you're hearing him speak unfiltered, which he's always been really unfiltered.
Oh, yeah.
But it was just really neat to have that play, kind of contrasting, but not even contrasting, but being almost interludes for the Weeknd song. So life well lived, man.
I like to think of him as the first. So he was the first DJ Khaled. He was the first Diddy, like super producer, iconic producer. I think he was a pioneer in that.
Right.
And I think he's just iconic with how many people he's worked with. Frank Sinatra came to him and said, "Yo, Quincy, let's do this thing."
Yeah.
And then fly me to the moon to let me play. Yeah, go look up who produced that, Quincy.
Yep.
And that's one of the most famous Frank Sinatra songs.
How cool
And
is that?
Quincy did it. And then Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he scored for Color Purple.
Okay.
I mean, iconic, man.
Yeah.
Iconic.
And it was still a name even years and years later, where you have people that are, I guess we're 4 or 5 generations into this, and they know him just as much as people that knew him when he first started. So that's pretty cool.
That is crazy, right?
Yeah,
like
legacy.
he's multi-generational, man. Because I think I was a young one when he was doing his thing, and then now, of course, even more people have gotten in. When I got in the radio and he started doing all the stuff on the, like Back on the Block and Q's Juke Joint, where he brought in like Ice-T and Big Daddy Kane, and along with Ray Charles and Chaka Khan, which is like that's the craziest party I think I'd ever want to attend to watch that madness.
Yeah.
All of those different
That
folks,
sounds
man.
cool.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Rest in peace. We'll talk a little bit more about him a little later on in the show. And of course, the big news,
The weather.
the weather. Yeah, the weather's
The
great,
weather's the
man.
big news, right?
Oh
It's
my
cold.
God.
The clocks
It's
rolled
cold
back.
outside. You got clocks went back.
I mean,
too.
since the last time we was together, clocks rolled back. Is that what you talking
Clocks
about?
roll back. Yeah, clocks roll back an hour. That's definitely a big thing.
And
I didn't
since-
have time to get a jacket, so that's why I'm cold.
Since
Maybe
we
it's not
last
cold
met,
outside, yeah.
I have had to use my defroster since the last time.
Homie, I
we've been
let
up
my
in here.
car warm up. Do you guys let your cars warm up before y'all drive? I'd imagine y'all do.
You're
Brother,
supposed
you live in
to.
Austin. You about to have half of Austin hating on you.
What are we supposed
You're
to do it or
wasting
not?
fuel.
That's how I feel. Like, honestly, I've seen different people that know stuff about cars, and we're like 50-50. Some people say don't do it.
Oh, I warm my
just saw
stuff up.
TikTok because I look at TikTok. Get over it. I just saw. Leave me alone. I saw TikTok and it said like there were like all the workers. The guy was going through asking each one of them, and all of them said yes. I let my car warm up. Some people like depending on how cold, but everybody said. But I also wonder if it's an age thing, like not just for a person, but for your vehicle.
This is great.
If you have an older vehicle, you're more gonna like let the thing warm up. Whereas if you have something that's like 2020 and over,
Right.
you might be like, well, I didn't really do nothing crazy yesterday, or it was just like for my logic. This is my boy math. I sometimes get in late. Like let's say I get in at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm leaving again at like, believe it or not, like 6 a.m. That was only 5 hours ago.
Sure.
Yeah. I feel like the car is still somewhat warm.
Yeah.
It's like playing basketball, at that point. I'm like, oh, man, has it been 8 hours? Maybe I need to let this thing, warm up. I don't know. That's my logic.
Well, let me pick apart your statement.
Please.
So the first thing is, you don't tell old heads to get over it because you're on TikTok, because that's all we got. So we want to rail against you youngins and the TikToker or
It's a good
TikTok
source.
or whatever y'all doing out there,
Tic-tac
tweeting,
meetings.
Snapchatting.
Your TikTok.
So don't tell us to get over it because that's all we got.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, it is an age thing because I think the old heads want to warm up their car like we did back in the day. And maybe the old heads put the hole in the ozone. But
Yeah,
but
there's that part.
I think the tree hugger in me, I think those that are a little more conscious about what we do to the environment, they want to get the pitchforks when they hear that you're warming up your car.
Exactly.
Do you think you got to warm up a Tesla like when it's cold?
You got to let the battery get warm.
You better not have to.
I wonder, you can't just does it? Okay, do you know how lights, some lights, like the gym lights,
Yeah.
you turn those things on. It's like that period where it's like they're not on yet.
Yeah.
they're like
And they come on a little later.
Do Teslas kind of work like that, or do you just get in and press go and it just goes?
I think yeah. At some point, everything has to get warm.
That's what I feel.
Yeah. Now there was a thing that I heard a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away that when it comes to when you're talking about gas engines, that it's good to let your car warm up because the oil in the car has to come up and
what I
circulate
heard.
itself throughout the parts of the car. So
Hey, we about to have a science fair. The batteries, you do have to precondition a battery.
That's what I thought.
So yeah, I would imagine how many and the size of those batteries.
Yeah.
You will have to precondition it. So I think you're spot on there.
yeah,
That's
no
interesting.
question. All right, well, let's get to the mix a little later on. Of course, we're going to talk about last night. See what's going on. We got to rip the Band-Aid off on that one. Dun, dun. Yeah, there you go.
My fellow Americans,
Yeah, it's-
Yeah, yes, sir.
in light
Yeah.
of the things that happened,
All right.
I'm gonna ask you not to spike the ball. If your guy won, then your guy won,
All right. All right.
exactly.
and we'll be back.
And we'll be back.
You know what? That's
We'll
all
be
I
back
need.
after these messages.
That's all I need right now in this
Hey.
moment. If he just decides to do that,
Yeah.
fine, sweet. Keep talking, sir. We're just gonna keep looking at you. This is the whole don't look to the left, you don't look to the right, you just look straight ahead.
Barry Warfield in the building. Dab Dub, Simply Courtney. We got the Wednesday edition. Kind of nice outside, man.
49 degrees for
The
real?
sun
Not bad.
is blasting through.
Was it 49 degrees?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow.
My toes are still cold because I was outside before we came in here.
What were you doing
I was reffing a flag football game
Nice.
at this time in the morning?
at the Darrell K. Royal Stadium.
You
lying.
Yeah, I still got the little AstroTurf little things in the bottom of my shoe.
I do not miss those things.
I'm gonna have to vacuum inside the studio here shortly.
What? Who is
In the middle?
in the morning at this time in the morning?
Them young cats.
They was
Man,
going-
yo.
Hey, if you get a chance to play on the field
play.
at UT, you take it when you can get it.
Yeah, I
feel
guess
that.
so.
So,
I guess so.
and they said, "Can you come ref?" That was hard, man.
They were out there going blue.
That was hard. I've never been a lead ref before.
Oh, you were the lead ref.
But, yeah.
It was your fault if
That
something
was
went
tough.
wrong.
I might have incorrectly called a pass interference.
Good on you for trying.
My side judge came over and was like, "Hey man, I don't know." I was like, "Dang." He said, "You gonna get a call from the SEC." I said, "Dang, I'm gonna get fined already on my
That's
first day."
it was your first day?
It was my first
Oh,
day.
yeah, you out. So
I got a
you.
fine already.
He did a touch. What was that one that happened back in the day? What was the touch reception or touchdown. One dude said touchdown. The other guy said interception.
So newfound respect. If you are an official out
tough.
there, I got nothing but respect for y'all. It is tough what y'all do.
Yeah.
You know, trying to stay out of the way too.
Right.
Because the Young Bucks was running and I was
on.
backpedaling and but you got to watch the play and
Yep, you have to keep the play.
you don't
want to
be part of the play.
You
No.
got to just stop and say if they run into you,
It was tough.
incidental.
It was tough.
Yeah.
I had fun though.
That's cool.
Oh, I'm sure. It's a lot of running, bro.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
it is.
It's a lot of running.
Man, I did 1.86 miles. I had
kept
my
it on.
phone.
You had to find
I wasn't
out.
just happy to see them. I had my phone in my pocket, and I had my app on. 1.86 miles. I had no idea. I wouldn't have believed that if you would have told me.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of running.
Yeah.
That's a lot of running. All right. A little later on, we're going to talk about the local races as well, coming up in the second hour. And as well, a little later on, we're going to be joined by the Brentano String Quartet. They've got a Chinese cultural celebration happening very, very soon. As a matter of fact, this week on Friday, November the 8th. We're going to talk to them a little later on in the show. This is 88.7 KAZI. This is KAZI. Yeah, baby. We going to be all right.
Yes, we are.
Yes, sir.
Y'all better quit acting like we ain't gonna be all right.
Yeah, we going to be all right.
The sun is still. Did it not or did it
Man,
rise?
I think the sun is out.
Okay,
let me go check
then
out.
we good.
The sun came up and said, "Hey, what's popping?" He didn't even wipe the sleep out of his eyes. He just popped up and said, "What's
The
good?"
earth
That
is
was
still
good.
spinning.
The
What's
earth.
good? Yeah, the
Did you
earth
say
is still
earth?
spinning.
Yep.
EURF?
I
Yeah.
like that.
I got to keep Simply Courtney in tune.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go. All right, let's go. Real quick, birthdays. Tandy Newton is having a birthday today. Also, former basketball star Lamar Odom, he's been into some weird stuff. Man. He got next to them Kardashians and his
Toe 'em up.
his boy.
Man,
Why is it that every time they inhale Kardashians oxygen that people get weird?
the woman
What is
crazy.
it with them?
Because the mama,
Well, okay, there you go.
the mom crazy.
Ooh, she different.
She got that crazy woman
I
haircut.
think fame gets to you. I think when you get that type of access, when you get that type of entertainment level, you go with it,
Yeah.
and you step outside of your norms, and it's kind of hard to put it back in once it comes out.
Just make you more who you are.
Yeah,
Right.
It's an amplifier. It make you more who you are. And for me, I talk about it all the time. I said, if I get famous, I ain't gonna change up. I'm just gonna be the craziest person I already was.
Please stay
I'm
the same.
gonna be the crazy person I already was. I've already told you what I'm doing. First thing I'm doing, I get money. Buying a giraffe. I already told you. Y'all think it's a game.
so then that proves the point.
Yeah.
So what did Kanye said? As soon as he went to Jacob and got the chain, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
And then it only went up from there. You know he's got a 4x4 all-terrain vehicle.
I saw some of those getting
you
pulled
seen
through
that?
the Serpa.
Yeah, he's got one of those, and that's the kind of thing you just keep reaching
Right.
when you get to that point.
Straight up.
And I think that's what happened to Lamar.
I
I
think
mean,
so, too.
he was out there, and I mean, he had a lot going on, and playing professional basketball ain't the easiest thing to do as well in the public eye and all
No,
that.
I would not want
And
to be
you're
a ball
trying
player.
to fit in. He is from a very different background than her, and it just when you're trying to fit in, you're stepping outside of your comfort zone to make them feel comfortable,
Right.
and you're doing things that you may not normally want to do, but when we talked about Hollywood parties, I tell you guys about the stuff I went to when I was out in LA
Straight up.
to try to relate it to Diddy parties, because
Right.
I ain't never been to one of those. But
That's not what Courtney said, but anyway, go
Facts.
dudes,
We got pictures,
random
dog.
dudes will say things to you like, "Hey, you want to do a line?"
Right.
ahead. Right.
Just, I know a lot of people have seen that on movie, and if you haven't been around it, I don't condone. But I'm just saying, some people are just that giving and sharing, and so what do you do when you're in that moment? Very few people will be like, "Nah, man, I'm good. I'm really," or they'll be like, "Yeah, okay." Let
Well,
me,
I think, and it's that peer pressure stuff. A lot of
Yes.
times you get caught up in trying to keep up, and
I
it
think
is-
that's what happened.
It is what we talk about, trying to keep up with the Joneses in this case.
Yeah.
And so you see so many people that are like, "Nah, I would never do that," but then when the heat is on, or better yet, when the heat is off, because there's some times where you be like, "Well, ain't nobody around, ain't nobody here but us." You know what I've always wanted? You start indulging. So I mean, I think it's just give people access, and they take the easier point, or it's the one that they've always been curious about.
Yep, exactly.
One thing I'll add, and this is because I am a goofball when I wake up in the mornings. You said whose birthday it was? It was Danny Newton.
Danny Newton, yeah.
Do you guys know who Zoe Saldana is?
Yes, I do.
Do y'all ever mix those two up, or is it just me?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
I think
Is it
I
because
did-
they act differently or what? Because they look like the same person to me.
There's a little bit of skin tone difference.
Okay.
They're small. I like their stature. I think I get where you're going there. Their stature. But no, I've never.
Because one was in Drumline, the other one was in like Norbit and like Crass or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and Avatar.
See,
Avatar as well.
And I don't be knowing who's and what's that movie? with
Mission
Will Smith?
wasn't Thandie in
When he
Mission
was-
Impossible with
never
Tom
saw that one,
Cruise
probably.
or Bond?
What's the movie called? I don't even
think
know.
it was-
the
I
difference
think it was
between
Mission
those two
Impossible.
Okay, Mission
dudes.
Impossible.
I'm mixing my white dudes up. No, they're-
Get your white guys straight, please.
Tom Cruise,
Okay.
Pierce Brosnan, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Got you.
very different.
Now, with
One's short.
They probably both short. Nah, what's the dang thing, man? When Will Smith was sleeping in the bathroom crying with his kid, man.
Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was the mom in that. And so we had a theory, man, that y'all seen Mr. Is it Mr. Deeds or whatever? There's a Tyler Perry movie.
Ooh.
So
Which
in,
one?
in the movie, she, and I think this is Thandie Newton, she keeps the kid and she's like working, and it's the whole, she's the maid, whatever it is, and she ends up falling in love with the CEO dude. On the other side of
Good
Pursuit-
Deeds.
Good Deeds. On the Pursuit of Happiness side, she gives up the kid, and then Will Smith keeps the kid, and he goes through what he goes through. So I almost feel like those movies are like parallel in the same universe.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah,
Isn't it wild, right?
yeah, that's
That-
good.
I just
Absolutely
wanted to say that on air because, like, I know people want to talk about the other stuff, but I love dragging out the fact that we ain't talked about it yet. That's fun for me. I'm going, honestly, I'm going to keep this going as long as I can. I ain't going to give y'all what y'all want because I know what y'all want to talk about. Y'all going to be talking about it all dang year anyways. Why we got to do it right now? Huh? Ain't that most?
It ain't gonna stop them.
Jabari, give me something else that's going on in the world right now. Come
Oh
on,
my
man.
gosh, what else
We
is
always
going
talking about the. I hate when everybody be talking about the same thing. That's why TikTok get on my nerves sometimes. Everybody want to post a video about the same thing. They have 59 other things going on. Talk about some of them.
Right. Well, we can talk about Quincy Jones.
Hey,
He's dope.
Yeah,
I'm
Quincy
a-
Jones is dope.
I'm gonna just ask you guys this:
Do it.
when you are a kid of a big celebrity like that, and then they pass, how long do you get to grieve before you get to that point where you like, you know what? I need my space. I need to take this all in. Or do you officially have to put on the brave face for us? Because we want to hear from you,
It
right?
sucks because nobody should be able to tell you how to grieve.
Yeah.
But in the public eye, like imagine if you had this is messed up. You had a trip scheduled, right? They public eye want you to cancel your trip because the person passed away, right?
Yeah.
You might have put a lot of money into a lot of thought, and also you may be able to go on that trip and grieve on that trip. Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh my God, they're whatever passed away. Now look at them, they're out ice skating. I don't know if that's a trip. I ain't had a trip in a while. They
ice
out
skating.
hang gliding. Look at them hang gliding. And they don't know that you crying while you hang gliding. But they don't want you to hang glide. They want you to stay in the house and wear black all the time and sunglasses and shades and get fat and eat food and be disheveled and cry and stuff. I was like, I ain't crying in public.
No,
I got kind of serious.
Well, you
go ahead.
I'm a thug. I ain't crying in public.
So the first
You
thing we're
whore.
gonna say
I'm
is
hard.
we're all Quincy's kid,
Okay,
but everybody knows Rashida Jones.
right.
So if you're
forget about
kid
her.
number 3,
Yeah.
you like, man, I want to talk about my dad too. Why? But the microphones only get put in Rashida's face.
Sure.
Because he got other kids.
Yeah, he does.
They all get to talk, don't they? Or-
Because
I get what
he
you
had a
getting
couple
at.
marriages.
That's what
you
I
know
heard.
before and then after and
I think he had 3 marriages.
He talked about
Yeah.
that on the album. He said, just give up the money, dog. Just give up the money. It's going to be 18 years. Just give it up and move on.
Man, but he had it to give up though, bro.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
if you
did,
don't,
though.
if you want to talk about we talk about royalties, all the stuff he was making, we're talking movie scores.
Yeah.
We're talking, We Are the World, which is still, getting paid. Michael Jackson's stuff that he worked on. Oh my God, Sanford and Son reruns. Oh shoot, man.
Dang,
the
he was
list goes
involved
on.
with Sanford and Son?
He wrote the theme song. Yes,
Yes,
sir. That is
yes.
Quincy Jones.
Yeah, that's Quincy.
Get out. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Young Buck, stick
Yo.
with us. We'll get you
We're
there.
gonna get you there.
That's
baby boy.
kinda-
We're gonna get you there. Yes,
You
sir.
didn't even know that.
No, I did
man.
not.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so then one other little thing in the world. Then y'all ever heard about Peanut? Peanut is a squirrel that a man in New York found, and he took it in and he raised it as a pet. New York State said, "Oh nah, son,
No.
we gonna take that squirrel from you and euthanize it."
The hate is real.
Wow.
They did.
Wow.
They what?
And now he wants to sue them
Good.
because he said, "Man, that's a waste of y'all's resources. Why y'all messing with me?" And he became a social media star
Really?
with Peanut. Don't y'all think that's taking it a little too far?
That's real in
Yeah,
New
it
York,
is.
ain't it?
I mean, a squirrel.
whack.
Who care about a squirrel?
Man, I care about a squirrel.
Squirrels are cool, man.
Squirrels are
So
cool.
you think you getting a giraffe? I just need to bring you back to
I
reality.
ain't never had a problem with a squirrel before, man.
No, they gonna take your giraffe.
No, they not.
If they gonna take a squirrel,
Sir, I'm gonna tell you something.
yours is
about-
even more exotic.
I want you to understand something about this giraffe before we get into this. My giraffe is not going to be a regular giraffe. He's going to be a trained attack giraffe.
Oh my God!
I'm going to have an attack giraffe. I don't. If the caller, whoever
gonna
just called
train it?
in,
Yeah.
I'm gonna train it. I'm gonna learn how to talk giraffe, and I'm gonna teach
Oh,
him
no.
how to swing on a person. Because sometimes you got to swing off on people.
Jabari, get your boy.
All of that woo sign. Sometimes you got to take that woo sign and put it out the way.
Sometimes
And you
you
got to
got-
just swing off on somebody.
Somebody's got to pop out and show.
Yeah, man. Jeffrey gonna be going hard on people. Straight up, speaking of Jeff, I know we on air. Straight up, y'all saw Young Thug got out.
Yeah,
Jeffrey got out. He got out.
He did. How long did that case go on?
Yeah, over a year, but he
Yeah.
got 15-year probation, dog. He went
Wow.
from 24 years to 15-year probation. He can work with Gunna again. He got his passport. I just want to say, y'all talk about Johnny Cochran, right?
Yeah.
Whoever that dude is that was his lawyer,
Yes.
that's the MVP.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm done.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
done.
And his name is Brian Steele,
That
his
boy
lawyer.
did.
What-
Lawyer?
what's the name?
He stole that case.
Yes, he
He
did.
stole it. He
Yeah, he
stole
did.
on him.
So long.
All right, let's go to the phone. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Good morning, legend. How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm blessed, man. I'm good. How you doing, brother?
And good morning to the sheriff. I don't
Hey,
know.
let's
Here we go.
Let's
Come
go.
on, man.
Let's go. Come on,
Why
fam.
you gotta do that,
Say,
brother?
I appreciate you more than you ever will understand. Thank you. Thank you.
I've been to this party when they said you want to do a line, and I'm glad my mom is no longer here on earth, so I can say, yeah, I know what you mean. I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I just wanted to bust up the monotony of things because we don't want to talk about what people are going to be talking about. Let's talk about the Cowboys.
Oh, hey,
don't
hey.
get this.
Let's
Jeff,
get it.
Jeff, don't
Let's
get this
get
fool.
it.
Don't get this fool
Hey,
to my right,
Jeff,
Shorty, man. We'll
Jeff,
never
I was
stop, bro.
over here and I was giving the cutthroat. I was like, man, I don't even like Jeff. But now I'm back on you, Jeff.
Look, let's talk about the cat. Let's go ahead and talk about the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, since we need to use distractions, let's get some good distractions.
Yeah. Hey,
Nice.
so ask me if I think they're going to look the same next year.
No.
And my answer would be there's going to be a new quarterback and a new coach.
Oh,
And Shador Sanders and his dad
think so?
are coming to the Cowboys.
Wow.
Because Cooper Rush ain't going to win, and they're going to lose a bunch of games, and that's going to give them a chance to go to trade up and get that draft pick. What say you? What say you?
What do you think, Jay?
Only thing I can say about that is somebody needs to buy the owner out, and then there'll be a change with the Cowboys.
Thank
Is
you.
it
Thank
possible
you.
to do that? Do you think it's something that they could do?
Yes, for the right price. But the thing is, I don't know if he wants to let it go.
Because he has to willingly let that go.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he
Well,
wants to stay in the spotlight.
Here's one for y'all. Here's one for y'all.
Yeah.
Let's say a certain individual who likes football that once had a football league that failed, he could become the owner.
Oh,
Wait.
yeah,
Are you talking about The Rock?
No, he's talking about the gentleman that was in charge of the USFL,
Uh-huh.
just got elected as the 47th president.
Oh, he's
Yes,
saying Trump could
that's
buy
what
him.
he's talking about. That's what
Wait,
he's talking
what?
about. Yeah.
That would be crazy.
How much do you think it would cost,
Y'all
though?
just being,
Now I
y'all
want to
just
know.
being silly. Oh man,
You good.
who knows? Who knows?
That's
You think he-
wild.
I would since that highest paid franchise, the most money for the franchise in football, it'd probably be a sweet penny to get them.
Yeah.
But if it was based off the merit of how they playing,
Yeah, no kidding.
they might get a bargain basement
Hey,
price.
you wild.
See, he'll over. So it'll go down in history as the most overpriced sale,
Right.
Because of what Jerry pulls from it
Right.
and the notoriety. what America's Team is what they're called. So they're listed at $11 billion of worth.
He definitely did not spend a billion.
No, he did not.
I think the person who would really benefit is Drew Pearson.
How so?
Because he owns the logo.
Really?
Okay.
He dropping knowledge today, dude.
For you, Jerry's been trying to get that logo by talking to him like, it would be an honorable thing if you sell it. No.
And if he's making,
Drew did a smart business deal back then.
no kidding, if he's making money from like the merchandise with that logo sold on it, can you imagine? I mean, the Bat Brothers gonna be making money. His grandkids are gonna be making money.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Hey,
Smart.
if that's the case. Yeah, man.
Man, that's so real.
But hey, I just wanted to call in.
Appreciate you, man.
Just say good morning to you, brothers. Y'all my heroes. I love you guys. I'm keeping it locked all the way over here to the left on my radio where it says KVI.
Yeah,
Best
man.
radio station in the world.
Hey, love you too, man. We appreciate you.
Appreciate-
man.
Thanks for calling,
Love
yo.
you guys.
Appreciate you, Big J.
All right, bro.
Holla soon, man.
You know what?
Peace.
Talk to me.
I like that he was willing to play. He was willing to play the game. He understood what we was putting down, and he
Yeah.
just said, "Look, man, what he said. Everybody gonna be talking about it."
It's gonna happen. Listen, and I get it. And like it's like when a new album comes out. Like I'm still listening to the Tyler thing, right?
Yeah.
And you go on YouTube and everybody is like got a review already.
Yeah.
One thing I don't believe in, and since you guys are music people, maybe y'all might feel this, maybe y'all don't. How long do you think it should take before you really can say you understand an album? Like I know everybody's
Before you-
different.
Ooh,
Well, define
I want to hear
understanding.
Jabari's
Okay, so
answer.
let's say, okay, I think it's a good album. I have opinions, and I always have opinions about stuff, and people value my opinion because it is what it is. I'm a
Right.
reviewer.
Right.
Let's say I'm a reviewer of music. How long do you think is too short versus like what do you think? Like, and I know everybody's different. Like I said, some people can read a book one time and they totally understand everything they read. Other people may have to read it for a little while. But there's some of these guys, bro, they'll have a review of an album like within 24 hours of it coming out, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's not good. It's trash. It's dumb. It's good."
Right.
And I'm like, man, this album ain't even breathed on you yet. Like for me, I'm still listening, understanding stuff right now. That I guess we might be about to be a weekend to the album. I'm talking about Tyler Creator's new album.
Okay.
And I'm like, I still don't think I would feel comfortable when people say it's a good album or not. I'm like, I don't know yet. I'm still having fun listening and just like, picking up on different things.
Right.
I'm curious what the way Jabari feels on it.
Okay. Cool. I'll tell you. I'll give you my opinion, and then we'll go to break. Let's take Michael Jackson's Thriller album.
Okay.
The first single on Michael's Thriller album was a duet with Paul McCartney. Right,
Girl Is
I think
Mine.
it's "Girl Is Mine."
I love that song.
That was the first track that they dropped, and everybody was like, "Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. Yeah, it's cute. It's Paul McCartney." Boom, and then everything else started dropping. You had Billie Jean that came out and went kaboom.
Yeah.
You had Thriller that came out, same thing, right? And that took Michael from. I mean, it was almost like if you had a turtle at the starting line, and then all of a sudden the rabbit grabs the turtle and takes off, and they both go across the line. It's one of those things where I think you have to really listen to the entire thing.
Yeah.
As far as that's concerned, these days, since people don't really drop albums like they used to drop, I think it takes anywhere between a month to 2 months
Same.
for something to get rolling. You know what I'm saying?
I don't get how people can just say something is bad and you ain't really had a chance to like drive and listen to it. And,
Yeah.
And think about what they're talking about and
Yeah.
then weigh that with what you know about the person and previous projects and growth.
Exactly.
I see people. Meg Thee Stallion's album, I think, just came out yesterday or whatever it was, or the day before.
Yes, sir.
And they immediately like, oh, she has nothing charting on it. I'm like, there's so much context that's going in that. Maybe she's not being pushed the same way she once was.
Sure.
Because she's talking about something different. But people are like, flop. And I'm like, man, if I was an artist in today's day and age, I would put something out and I would immediately go dark.
Yeah.
Like I would literally on my end, I would turn everything off. Because sometimes you put stuff out there and people are like, it wasn't good. And this person may have listened to it halfway. That's like
Yeah.
a person that skims through a book and says, this is a boring book.
Right.
I'm like, you didn't even read the whole thing.
Right,
So I
exactly.
laugh when these people do these reviews of music. And shows, media, whatever, when they haven't had a time, like an actual real like moment to look at it. And so I don't put opinions out there that early when it comes to stuff like that.
No, and I don't blame you, because I think what happens is everybody expects everything instantly. Everything in our lives we have instantaneously.
Real.
And music is just one of those things where it just doesn't happen instantly. You have to let it marinate. You know, let's say, for instance, if they pulled a single from Meg's album and somebody in the club starts playing it. Now, if a DJ gets a hold of it, a DJ that everybody, you know, has got a lot of followers, a lot of people listening, and runs it like that, or maybe does a, you know, like an Instagram or a TikTok with it, then at some point I think that's how a lot of it's determined. Unfortunately, because there's probably a lot of stuff on there that's really going to pop, but
Yeah.
you got to give it a chance. It's not instantaneous. It's not one of those things that's just going to happen right away.
Okay,
You know?
I got to ask you a quick question before
Go
we
ahead.
go.
Go
So,
ahead.
if you're talking about an album and in, like the greatest album of all time, and for me it's Thriller.
Yeah.
But Jabari, would you say an album could be the greatest of all time if it's like a compilation album, the greatest hits? Because that's cheating. That's because when you look at Thriller, I mean, PYT. I mean, you could go 8 songs straight and they're all bangers.
Yeah.
A greatest hits. I mean, of course it's gonna be. So it shouldn't be in consideration.
No,
for the
you're
greatest
right.
of all time,
No,
right?
it should not.
It's
It
a
should not.
compilation.
It should not.
Okay.
It's stuff that's already released. People
Yeah.
have already been listening to it. If you're talking about something that people haven't heard, because we didn't hear any of the songs on Thriller
Nope.
before it dropped, versus, you know, like a best of, right? Like I think the Eagles is like number 2, the greatest hits. It's like, you know, wait a
Business
minute.
Insider has him as number 1, the greatest hits, 1971.
Yeah, see.
How does he know that though?
Because my name is Jabari.
Warfield.
Thank you very much. Ta-da! We'll be right back. AZI, Bars Robinson got us banging our heads in the studio, man.
Man.
I love that one, man.
That was nice.
Come
Sometimes
through
you got to
swerving.
bang your head to keep from crying. That was awesome, man.
There you go. Yeah, got to pop out and show them.
Straight up.
Come through swerving. Bars Robinson. Bars is actually part of our 42nd year celebration as well. Had a whole band with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, had a whole band killing it. It was
Bars.
crazy. Bars. 840 and 88.7 FM KAZI, your boy Jabari Warfield, Dab Dub, and Simply Courtney in the building. This is the Wednesday edition of the Morning Grind. Sitting up here just chilling. A little later on in the show, we're going to have the Brentano String Quartet. They're going to drop by and talk about what's going on with them on Friday, November the 8th. And we'll give you more information on all that coming up right around 9 o'clock. And don't forget to check us out at kazifm.org. You can listen to us online on your desktop. You can get the TuneIn app, put it on all your mobile devices, smart devices, and your smart TV. I was actually listening to KZI on TV.
Oh, that's
that was
fire.
really good. That was fire, dude. Yeah, you're right. He was fired. It was really, really cool. So, of course, the big news of the day, Donald Trump has secured the 47th presidential win over Kamala Harris by a 14% margin. I think there are a couple of polling places that haven't come in yet, but at some point, Trump has all of the electoral votes to secure the 47th presidential win. And Ted Cruz, of course, won the U.S. Senate race. He got Colin Allred beat by 10%. Lloyd Doggett won the U.S. House District 37 seat by a 53% margin over his opponent, Jenny Garcia Sharon. Cheryl Cole won the State House District 46 seat by almost 50%. And Kirk Watson won the race for mayor as well. You can check out, I got all this from KXAN.com. You can check out all of the local races if you need to check it out. I would love to read them, but it's a whole internet page of locals. So check it out for yourself. Once again, shout out to the folks at KXAN.com for all of that information. So there it is. So fellas.
Yeah.
So now that we are into a new era,
Yeah.
my thing is, you know, I just believe that we have to make sure that we take care of what we need to take care of.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's what it means.
Yeah, we've always been the kind of folks that have been there for each other, and we should.
Yep.
Community is what it's about. It's about binding together and saying, okay, this is what it is, and holding our our president-elect accountable. All right, because at some point, would we or would we not also hold Kamala Harris accountable?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would we expect her to to deal with certain issues that we had, right? Certain issues that we thought, were meant. Because same thing that happened with President Obama. When he was elected, some people, and you ask some people, say, well, it was great to have him up there. He did some things, and some things he probably didn't handle, the way that should have been handled.
We hope. That's all I can say. And we hope that they would, that they will. I'm not gonna say what, because we're now in the will. We hope that they will take us into consideration, but we don't know. And there's some people that feel like it's not gonna happen. There's some people that feel like it's impossible to happen, and I think we're all in a spot now where we're just kind of gonna wait and see.
Yeah, exactly.
You did what you could, and appreciations to everybody that tried. But now this is where we at, and we're like, all right.
Sure.
I'm just kind of curious if you're really upset to this point today.
Talk about it.
What country did you think you were living in? I mean, how did you not know? Honestly, seriously. Okay, so 59% of white men voted for Trump.
Ouchie.
Mm-hmm. Did you not expect that? Look within your circle. I know y'all gonna call up, but look within your circle. Ask yourself how many white dudes you got in your top 10 that you call.
Right. Wait.
That means you may not know enough white men.
Damn.
So then you didn't know.
Damn, you got
so
me.
So what were you in there? Who were you expecting? See, if you keep yourself in this one circle,
right,
you got your head down, then you don't know. Okay, how about this? 54% of Latino men voted for Trump. Right. Again, look within your circle and ask yourself, because if you got a good pulse of those Latino men and those white men, then you already knew who they was voting for.
I knew what was coming in.
What did you expect? Now, what are you going to do about it? What are we going to do about it to change them? If 52% of white women voted for Trump, again, go out, ask yourself, how many white women do I hang out with? And then actually look at them and be like, hey, do I think I can change who you are and how you feel? And if you don't think you can, then what we was just hoping.
Yeah,
right. I think here's the thing. Everybody has their opinion, and you're entitled to your opinion to say, well, I think this is the best candidate. I think this is the best choice. And I don't necessarily have a problem with that. Yeah. What I have a problem with is when people get nasty. What I have a problem with is people get ignorant and ugly and stupid on Facebook and say all these crazy things. That's what pisses me off.
Yeah.
I don't have the capacity to sit up there and treat you like if you're not a teen, no disrespect to my teenagers, because I was a teenager once, but if you're just saying whatever you feel like saying and you're an adult, it's like, check your mouth.
That's the part.
Act like you got a mama and daddy with some sense. Don't just get up there and just fly off the handle. If that's your candidate, cool, that's your candidate. You can talk about that. But don't just sit up there and say, well, this is that and you're stupid and I don't know. No, that don't work. That's the problem with us. That is our problem.
Yo, I want to tell you, the very first text I got from wifey when she woke up today. Well, besides, man, I wish you were here because you're like the hottest dude ever. But no,
this Negro here.
This is literally what she said. She said, "What I can tell you is now all the Facebook white supremacists are making themselves known on Facebook."
Yeah, we get to know who people are again, and see, as much as people might bemoan that, you get to see these honest people show who they are. Yeah. And you know what? What did my homegirls say? When someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
That's it. And so, unfortunately, we're going to see that. I don't know, dude. I'm being honest on this one. This ain't the first go around of us dealing with this crap.
Yep.
Yeah, there is potentially some new, crazier things on the horizon and stuff. But, man, as black people, we've gotten through it.
Yeah. And
I know that we hate having to constantly get through stuff. But we've been getting through it. And when we had people that were favorable in there, we got through it. We had people that were unfavorable in there, we got through it. And so I feel like, let me take Phil out. I hope we'll keep continuing to win that game of getting through it.
We could do something about it.
What can we do?
You could try to change it.
Okay.
What I just said earlier, I meant it. Yo, go step outside of your comfort zone.
Oh.
Go find Robert and Roberto, who voted for him, and then invite them out.
and swing
Bring them
on
to
them.
church with you.
Oh,
Bring them to. I'm doing a meal giveaway with my fraternity later on this month in November. I invited my neighbors across the street. And that dude does not look like me. He got a "don't tread on me, come and take it" flag. He got every flag in his
really?
garage.
So-
But I said, I was talking to him the other day. I said what my fraternity does, and he seemed interested. So I sent him a text. I was like, hey, man, you want to come down in the hood and help me give away some stuff? He said, I'll check my calendar.
So what I'm to pick up is don't swing on him is what you said.
No, don't.
swing on him. Because I was like, some people be like, hey,
He'll feel threatened and
yeah, I feel you,
you don't
castle
wanna-
doctor,
yeah,
and all
you,
that.
yeah,
stand
you always
his
you
ground.
gotta watch the ones that tell you stuff to
turn
your
on
face
them. Yeah.
because
They mean
especially if they got the little fanny pack.
Yeah. Very-
My life was threatened.
You can fit a lot
There
in
you
the
go.
fanny pack.
There you go. All right, let's take a call real quick. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Good morning again, Legend. I just had to call back on what y'all talking about, man. Y'all got my head just banging this morning. But I'm real short and sweet. Real short and sweet. It's just know this. The number 4. It's only 4 years.
Yep.
It's only 4 years. After that, he'll be gone unless they try to change it. But he's only got 4 years, so we just got to bite the bullet for 4 years.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That could be a
That's
long
all
4
I wanna
year,
say.
though, dog. That'll be a long 4 years, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's kind of like repairing your credit.
Okay, yeah, and see, now you just hit me with that one because I had to, man, I worked really hard on repairing my credit, really hard.
Yeah. It might be like repairing your credit, but once it's over, once it's over.
This is true.
So
This is
you
true.
guys be blessed again.
Thanks, man.
Talk to you later.
Thanks, brother. Take care, Jay.
So I never like talking politics.
No, me neither. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my
I never
gosh.
think that I'm the most intelligent when it comes to it. But if you want to talk politics,
Talk
you
about
should be intelligent. Because first of all, you're anarchist. You know it's divisive, but you want to bring it up. You want to get it out there.
Yeah.
So to that point, we have a Republican president. The Senate is majority Republican now. The Democrats lost 3 seats. So GOP is 52, Democrats 42. And again, is everybody talking about that? Everybody on your social media feed, no, they're not talking about that.
Right.
What's the majority of the Supreme Court? Republican.
Sure.
Again, what you gonna do about that? When you get to the House is primarily Republican. So this is where we are. He has the House, he has the Senate,
Yeah.
he has the Supreme Court.
Dang.
He is going to run stuff for these 4 years.
Right.
He is going to get everything that he wants.
Sure.
So
The biggest thing I think that we need to do as a people is get stronger economically. See, when you don't have to rely on nobody else's money,
Yeah.
then you all good. And that's one of the things we have. And we end up purchasing so much that we talk about all the expensive stuff we want. We want the bag. We want what's in the bag. We want the nice clothes. We want the cars and all of that. All stuff that depreciates.
Yep.
Learn to find something that appreciates, which means
Yeah.
your money gets bigger instead of just trying to shine all the time. Takes the time to save some money for some years so that in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, when you want to spend it on something, you've got a few thousand, not just, shining now to be shining. And a lot of that, and we talk about the financial, there's a lot of things taught in school. I don't think financial literacy, matter of fact, I'm sure, financial literacy is not one of those things. And I think at some point we need to teach our kids how to save and what to invest in. And, it's okay to shine, it's okay to wear nice stuff, but you don't have to go broke doing that. You don't have to go broke to shine for 5 minutes, and then later on, 5 years from now, you could have saved some of that money and had a nice, nice bag.
I bet everybody, all the super militants that want to complain,
Yeah.
how many times have they had a conversation with their kid about stocks and ETFs, exchange traded funds? How many times, to what you're saying, have you talked to your kid about bonds? How much time have you talked to him about real estate? Hey, an old head used to tell me, and I repeat it, the only thing that they can't make more of is land.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
and it will always appreciate. And so that even right now, we've talked about this before. I'm new to Austin, and one thing when I first moved here almost 4 years ago, first thing everybody kept saying is Austin is changing. Well, you know that. You know about real estate. So what we gonna do about Big Mama's house?
Yeah.
Don't talk about it like now. Now we living in it now. Think long term. How do we keep Big Mama's house?
Yes. Yes.
Don't just wait until 15 years from now and we realize, oh, we can't keep it. Start making the moves now, acquiring the knowledge now, so you're 15 years smarter when that comes up. Fine art and collectibles. Yeah, you could get into that market. Wine, precious metals.
Right.
Like that's what we should be talking to our kids about, except for, you know, what we do talk to them about?
What?
PlayStation 5 and those games. $100. Those are $100 games.
Those are expensive games, bro.
Okay. Well,
I
then-
like them.
all right.
I'm good with them, but I mean, I just
we
don't
doing?
think we should go broke doing it.
That's what we
so
doing.
let's take one more call and then we're going to go to break. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Good morning. How you happy guys doing this morning?
We good, sir. How are you?
Seem like y'all got y'all plate running over.
Man, you know what? You know what? But that's what we
But
do.
yeah, but you know, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm for right. Anytime a person have 34 felons, they shouldn't even be in. They shouldn't even be in the running.
Sir, you dropping the mic right there. You ain't got to say nothing
you ain't-
else.
you ain't got to say nothing else.
Any reasonable person should not have anything else contradictory to say to you after you lead with that.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, see, they y'all up here talking about keep your feelings to yourself and stuff. You know, I know a lot of talented black people that fell through the crack and then just had a felony
Yep.
on assault on his wife or something, and they can't even vote and stuff. Then we have a man that can run for president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
win.
You see what I'm talking about?
And win.
That's just so much corrupt government in the. You know, we as black people, we're not mad at that he won. We had so many black and Spanish folks that voted for him. You know, he gave them the stimulus check, and they think they're gonna get stuff out of him. They not gonna get nothing out of him.
Sir, I want to
For a
ask you.
hard time.
I'm sorry. I want to ask you three things. So, as a felon, he won states that he doesn't even have the right to vote in. As a felon,
Ain't had a
he
right to-
can't even serve on a jury, but he can appoint a Supreme Court justice. Sir, he can't even own a firearm, but he's going to sign into law any kind of law that affects those of us who can possess firearms and ammunition. How's that make you feel?
I threw my hands up. And so I'm not. I
heard it.
I'm gonna tell you like this here. I'm gonna tell you like this here. I can't make this stuff up.
No, you
when
can't.
They gave him that award last night, the lady offered the towel. She jumped down.
Nice.
I can't believe they let him come back in here. Give me some of the what them people drink every day before they go to work.
Oh,
Hennessy.
I was gonna say
Energy drink.
some
My bad.
vitamins. What,
My bad.
Some
She
V8.
jumped down off that tower and she said, "Give me an energy drink."
There you
She said,
go.
"I can't believe this." And see, I can't make this stuff up.
That's funny.
You
oh
know,
my gosh.
It's this man. I tell you, I have worked. I'm a general contractor. I'm a handyman. I'm a dishwasher. I'm everything, and I've met a lot of people. I don't judge people because of what people say. I judge people on the character that I can get out of a person, and I know who I'm voting for. A lot of people just go vote because they was told to vote. But
Right.
first thing we need to know is who and how to vote for. And some of them folks y'all just read off on that list a while ago, they wasn't on my voting list.
They weren't on your list?
They
Nice.
didn't do good. They didn't do good when they was in the lower part of the city council.
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, sir, I gotta ask you one other question. And let's talk about love. Let's talk about love right quick. Then, so the 47th president hates immigrants. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Well, my words, but he's gonna be really hard on immigrants. But he got 2 immigrant wives, one from Slovenia and one from Czechia. So does love conquer all?
if you read what his mother said, that he's a good icon, but if he ever get to be any elected official, it'll be a disaster waiting to happen. And that's what his mother said.
Wow.
You know,
I gotta
y'all
read
can't
that.
make this stuff up. You know, we didn't get to the point where we all we're gonna do at the end of this here 4 years of hell. On the way through that storm, if it get too deep, all you got to do is put your head between your legs and kiss it goodbye. Y'all have a nice weekend.
All right, sounds good. Take care, man. Yeah, let's yeah. I got nothing to say after that. Let's just go to breaks. It's definitely going to be a little bit of a mess. So keep that in mind. Anywhere you're going, I would definitely give myself some extra time on the road because it's still going to be thick, just a little thick.
Wait,
So
Like I
keep
like
that
my
in-
women.
There
Thick.
you go. There, like your women or your oatmeal. There you go.
like
Yeah.
she been living in Atlanta for 3 years, kind of
Thick.
thing.
Oh no, like she grew up in Atlanta, kind of.
Freaknik thick.
Freaknik thick.
A lot of people in the streets, you can't even get
No,
through.
no,
Thick.
Jabbar, you don't understand.
All right,
She moved to Atlanta, so she thinks she can compete. That's how thick she is.
gotcha.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you can't compete, stay out.
No, this is true. This is true. And
Don't bring your
don't bring your A to the
backside.
A. Yeah, don't bring your A to the A, man.
you can't compete.
I visited the A, and I went with my cousin. I was walking around with my cousin, and she saw my neck turning a little bit.
Woo!
She said,
You got the
she
exorcist
said-
neck.
She said, "Yeah, I did get the exorcist neck." She said, "Welcome to the A."
When you in Atlanta and
Yeah.
you going out on a date,
Yeah.
you don't go downtown. You go out to the burbs. Don't
Sand
take
Beach.
the girl that you trying to spit game to, because that neck, you're
So
gonna
I
be
shouldn't-
fighting it the whole time.
So I shouldn't be out looking for.
I wanna look.
I shouldn't be out looking for trees. I should be out looking for tree trunks. You feel me? See how I
Hey,
did
hey,
that? See how I
hey.
did that?
Oh, my
yeah,
goodness.
right there. Y'all called it. Tell me
Man.
how good that line was.
Nice.
Hard out there.
That was
Nice,
fire.
nice.
I don't blame him. I would have
Yeah.
hung up too. We was talking a whole bunch of
But
nonsense
good,
over
because
here.
I got a question for y'all.
Talk
Okay.
about it.
If the date sucks and you know you want to get out of it, do you have to finish it?
No.
It depends on how bad it's going.
It's going bad, Jabari.
Okay, if it's going real bad,
Like she's
okay,
smacking food when y'all
No.
in the restaurant,
But, okay, so okay.
chewing like a horse.
All right, so let me jump into that. If you have food on your table, do you finish the food or do you
No,
just leave?
Jabari, you
But
gotta
you still
go.
got to pay the check, though.
Yes,
you don't.
you could. Hey, there have been plenty times I'm out with my boys,
gosh.
my fraternity brothers, and we always fight over who gonna pay.
Right.
So all you gotta do is get up like you go into the bathroom, and then you beeline to the waitress, slide your card in, and then
you're a
boom,
bad dude.
it's
I like
preemptively
how you
done.
did that.
Yeah.
And that's how I get down. I do that all the time.
Hey.
You can do the same
Hey,
thing.
is it a trash move?
And then when you're in your Uber leaving, send her a text and be like, "Hey, by the way, I'm out."
Hey, is it a trash
on,
move then
son.
if you pay for the whole date like that? Like when you done, you like, I'm so done, and then you go to the bathroom, but you slide it, and you pay for your meal and her meal? Or are you
That-
Dutching
and then
it?
be
No,
out.
that's not trash. I think
I
it
think
would
it's
be
cool.
bad if you just paid for your half.
Right.
And you're like,
So then pay the whole meal and walk
Yeah,
out.
no, pay only your half of the bill.
Nah, man,
But
pay
you're
the whole
stuck.
meal,
No,
man.
come on, man. No,
Because then she looking,
No.
and as you get into your Uber, she see you getting your Uber, you can do that Leonardo DiCaprio where you do the cheers like the to you.
No, you wanted
and then
her
get
to
in the car.
know it was not that good.
So you, and here's your half.
And, no. I mean, I don't. But I was
I
just
feel
saying.
you.
You were saying like, what
Nah, I
would be
feel
trash?
you.
I think that would be trash.
I think it would be cool if you pay everybody his meal and walk off because they can't be mad at
That
you.
would have to be that would have to be a garbage.
What's a
date,
garbage
though.
date to you?
Oh,
That's a good. Yeah, but that's a good
Okay,
question.
I've been there.
Define one,
Okay,
please.
so there are girls that will get a straw in
Mm-hmm.
their drink and they'll slurp.
Okay.
That's it.
That's
What
horrible.
about a girl who talks with her mouth full?
That's horrible.
That's
Yeah,
that's
that's
home
not-
training.
yeah, that-
What
yeah.
about a girl that chews like a horse? Just
That's horrible.
I can't. I'm not supposed to be seeing that. How about one that takes her cutlery and is loud, just banging against the? What are you arm wrestling with it? Like, why are you playing a drum solo? Why are you so loud? This is a cozy affair.
What if she's asking questions about stuff like y'all went to the movies, right? And she's asking questions in the movie, like during the movie.
Yeah. See, no.
See, I had that happen to me once. and
No.
Again,
It was a triple.
I won't let my daughter do that.
It was a seriously. Hey, it gets worse. It was a double threat too. Not only was she asking questions about the movie, she was asking dumb questions. Like we watched a movie called, I want to say this was either what's the first one, White House Down. So then there was the one that Jamie Foxx had. So I'm gonna say White House Down. They both the same movie.
yeah, basically.
Those were fictional things. She asked me. She said, "Wait, did that really happen?" I wish I was joking. Like, and I was like, haha, you trolling me?
Yeah.
And she was so serious. And I had to say with the most sincerity, no, this is a fictional movie. And I have never wanted to leave a person in a movie theater quicker in my life. Like I considered
real.
sneaking out. Hey, I'm finna go to the bathroom
Okay.
real quick.
That's
So
real.
since you didn't, what excuses can I use to get out of the date then? Since you're not going to sneak
While
out.
you're there,
Yes, sir. What
person, though,
what's
in
something I
person.
can offer in
This is in
person?
person?
What can I say?
are we going for me?
I send a text to Jabari and be like, "Hey,
Ooh, I
Jabari,
like
call
this.
me up
Say it's an emergency.
and tell me you need me to."
I like that.
Okay, Jabari, can I say
sick.
that I made a mistake and I didn't have. I got an important meeting I got to go to. That one doesn't work, right?
Oh my goodness,
That's not the best work
all right.
excuse.
So let's go back to the starting line first.
Okay, okay.
If you, what kind of woman is this? What kind of person is? If
Bro,
it's like, well,
nowadays on apps, you don't know till you get there.
this is true. No, but see, that's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah.
The apps.
Yep.
That's where it starts. That's the issue now. And I know everybody's doing online dating and meeting people and all of that, but that's where it starts. I think that if you're going to meet somebody, and we had this discussion, I think a while back about big dates, right? Like the whole cheese. You remember that whole Cheesecake Factory
Yes,
thing?
sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So to me, I think that the personal connection that you would have with somebody starts in a smaller atmosphere, like coffee and pastries or something like that.
Okay.
And then you can go and do the Cheesecake Factory,
Very
$100,
smart. Yes, sir.
meal kind of thing. But if you just take off from the jump and start at Cheesecake Factory, you don't know what you get.
Well done.
Yeah, and
You see
I-
and
what
that's
you did
that's
there.
kind of your bag.
My,
you know what I mean?
my mentality now is exactly that. It's like, yo, start slow, start low, start practical. I'm not trying to rap, but I got bars.
Gonna do drop
but
bars.
but you start kind of like you set the bar low. You set the expectations, you temper the expectations, so that way you rise to it. Because I look at it with and I've talked about this with birthdays. When you're a man, you're responsible for Valentine's Day, birthdays, anniversary, all of that, right?
Right.
And if you come out the gate and let's say we're gonna go on a trip, extravagant,
Good Lord.
for the first one.
Good Lord.
Yeah. No.
What are you doing for the second one?
Your name's Jabari
The
Warford
third-
and you got a bunch of money.
The fourth one, the fifth one, the 10th.
Yeah.
What if y'all make it 10 years
bro.
and you ain't topped the thing you did the first time?
Yep.
And I don't want it, even if I have the knowledge, and I've had the knowledge to do these things, and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to save that for later.
Yes.
And I'm in a spot now in my life where I take notes and I'll go, ooh, they like that? Okay, I ain't going to touch that yet. I'm going to save that for a day that when I'm tired or when I'm whatever, I'm starved for ideas. Because at
Sure.
some point you run out of ideas. And trying to keep up with what you did last year, that'll put you in some trouble.
Oh, for sure.
I learned that now.
I like what you said, Jabari, which is what you're saying. Jabari says start small. Just do a
Yeah.
little coffee
Yeah.
before you get into $100 per plate date
sir.
for the first one. So then, Jabari,
Okay.
what happens if I'm on that bad date and I'm calling a friend and I'm talking to Jabari on the phone about my date and how bad it is,
Yeah.
but all of a sudden my date comes back from the bathroom real quick and catches me talking about it?
Gotcha.
Then your big old head shouldn't have been talking
That part.
that loud. It's called text messages.
Oh.
If that's the case,
shouldn't have.
no. If you put yourself in a position to be walked up on,
Right.
No, bro.
I was using voice to
on
text.
You. Yeah, no,
I was texting. I was voice to text. Like,
Then
dog,
that's on you.
She chew like a horse. This ain't the one. Hey, I didn't know
That's
you was
on
back
you.
so quick.
That's
She
on
heard
you.
too.
No,
well,
man.
can I end the date then?
Yeah, you should.
If she catches me talking about her.
Yeah, but
Oh.
at some point the date is ended itself.
she might end it for you. She might do both of y'all.
Oh, well then now we know what to do to get out of the date.
Well, there you go.
That's all right. Yeah, you just told me. You just gave me the out.
Thank you very much. Well,
Just I tank it.
that's what I did. Just tank the whole thing. But you also have to be careful when you tank a date, because now it's one of those things like, okay, let's say for instance, if you were dating,
Yeah.
and you tank that date, she may have 4 or 5 other of the girlfriends, and she starts spilling it out to you. And we know social media is a
Yeah,
talker.
boy.
Social media got a whole lot to say, son.
Yeah, it do.
So you got to, if you're gonna tank it or stop it, there's a right way and a wrong way to do that. Because if you got, there's, what was that date? Don'tDateHimGirl.com or something like that. It's this website I heard about a long time ago that essentially you're going to tank yourself.
Yep.
And from nobody dealing with you, and it will be harder to to get somebody to believe in you to go out for a date.
They do
Well,
straight.
I know
It's
I know
straight.
when it's hard to get someone to date you because you're still living at home. So then my next question is, how long is too long to be living at home with your mom?
I guess that depends on the situation.
I mean,
Depends on the person.
That depends on the situation.
I understand. I'm from a different generation. My
Right.
day, everybody was out, get out by 18. But
Right.
nowadays, stuff's expensive, and if you can save a little money, I'm just wondering,
Right.
should you still be living at home with your parents'
I don't
place
know, man.
when
Personally, I think it depends on the person. Everybody's situations are different. You have some people
Right.
that they left, they came back. Some people never left. I know plenty of people that have done all of the above.
Yeah.
I know some people that they left in one position, that came back in a different one. Some people left and they came back, and all of a sudden they covering everything now.
Sure.
And some people got it where now the person is that they were living with is now sick and sudden, and they're staying there almost to take care of them. So
Right.
it depends on the person. I think you just have to be honest about your situation up front, and don't be like, "Hey, you finna come over." You show up, and all of a sudden somebody laying there with a CPAP machine. In the front door.
No.
And like, "Hey, who is that?"
my
Oh,
mom
that's
and
my roommate. That roommate
Right.
look just like you. You sure they ain't your mom?
That's crazy. Hey, let's go to the phone real quick. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, I'm one of those strong black men who did vote for Trump,
Oh.
and I'm proud of it.
Okay, so hey, what was your reasoning? Why'd you? Because you're gonna be the minority today. What were some of the reasons that you voted
I'm
for?
not the minority. There's plenty of black men who voted for Trump.
Yeah, exactly,
And I
yeah.
know a lot of them.
Great. I'm saying
They are.
there was a minority that would call
First
in
of all-
today.
First of all, if you know the history of Kamala Harris, she was known for locking black men up in California. Also, she's just a modern day Margaret Sanger. Do y'all know the history of Margaret Sanger?
No, help us
No,
out.
sir.
Talk to
Please
me.
tell me. Do you know the history of Margaret Sanger?
No, help us
No,
out.
sir. Talk to
She
us.
was the founder of Planned Parenthood. The whole agenda was to get rid of the black race, and that's all Kamala Harris is doing.
Wait,
And how y'all gonna try to shame a black man to vote for a woman who's married to a white man and she's raising his kids? Come on now, get a spine on your back. I'm a proud black man of America. I'm
Hey.
not voting for that. No.
so do you want to talk about these? You got a quick second then? So what was
Yes,
what
sir.
was the
Come
first
on.
thing? What was the first thing you said? The reason that you voted for Trump? What was the first reason?
'Cause I'm a proud American.
No, okay, yeah, I think everybody is.
Sure,
That's
we-
why they
we all
voted.
are. We're very
But
proud Americans.
You went on to say another reason.
I want to take a stand on overwhelming of immigrants invading America, which was brought in by the Democrats. And we all know that.
Really?
Talk to the people in Chicago. People in Chicago are very upset how those immigrants are being overwhelmed into their neighborhood. And believe me, go look at them. A lot of them went and go voted for Trump.
Yeah. So
People-
so you're
Black-
against
black-
anyone?
Anybody, black people should be proud to stand for their rights and not being overwhelmed by immigrants. And all the rights, and give it to them over us.
Yeah.
We
So
deserve to get out.
are you
Go look
familiar
at what
with
they do. They got
xenophobia?
people at $3,000 check. Come on now, do your research.
Hey,
I'm
no, we talk, brother. We talk.
I'm
We
aware.
don't have
Hold
to.
on,
do
hold on,
research.
guys. One at a time, because we got to be able to hear both of y'all. Okay.
Yeah.
Caller, go ahead.
I'm one person. I'm aware. All of the United States, the black radio stations have been taken over by the liberal foundation, and they are telling y'all who to tell us. I'm telling you one thing. I'm one black man who's woke. I'm not one of the spineless black men who was raised up by a single woman. I had a father in my life. I'm standing up for the real black man. Yeah, we voted for Trump. And we proud of it. Good day.
All right, Good day. Thank you, brother.
See, that's where we get. They don't normally want to have the conversation. They just want to go one way. I just want to have the conversation with them. So he's talking about Margaret Sanger, and she was a white lady, and she was an American birth control activist, a sex educator, writer, and nurse. He's taking it way back. She's from those flapper days. This lady was born in 1879. She died in 1966. So to compare Kamala to that, that's way off.
Yeah, that's different.
He said that he's an American, so I guess anyone who was not voting for Trump is not a true American. You lost me there. I didn't want to talk over him, so he had mentioned one or two things earlier, and I was like, okay, well let's talk about that. But hey, we do appreciate him calling in and wanting to just remind us he's a true black man because he had a dad in his life. He lost me there just because he wasn't raised by a single mom. There are a lot of single moms that are doing a great job of raising black men.
Amen
so
to that.
I'm glad that brother had a dad, but I think other people turned out pretty good. Like, what number was Obama? Can somebody help me with that? And he was raised by a single mom. So
yes, it was.
But we appreciate you calling in, brother.
Yes, sir. And I raised my son as a single dad from age 1 to the time 18 years old till he moved out. And my child has never been in jail. He is currently working in Atlanta. He is currently going to school online, and he is doing great.
And later today, he's gonna loan me $500.
You know what? If you can find him, that's cool.
Oh, okay. Hey, all right.
No doubt. There you go. All right, let's take one more call, and then we're gonna go to break. Hey, caller, how you doing?
Hey, good morning. I was just going to comment on what the guy was saying. There's a whole lot, like with the immigrants coming in, that a lot of people put on the Democrats. That's really a result of Republican policy from years ago, and it's Republican governors that shipped all them people out there so that the Chicago folks would be inundated. It was the Republican governors that were basically trafficking humans, trying to prove a point. And it wasn't the Democrats with the open borders. It was the Republican governors shuffling folks around. Additionally, it wouldn't be so hard to come up with practical policies for immigration without resorting to xenophobia, without resorting to calling certain nations and people from certain nations garbage and trash. The other thing that's really scary for me is that 44% of women literally voted against our well-being because of the Handmaid's Tale rules, the Supreme Court, and the guy's going to get to pick more. And it's really scary for women and people of color, and this really feels, I'm going to tell you honestly, it feels like a betrayal, because it's basically the nation saying that a woman is not good enough. And that doesn't matter how qualified she is. It doesn't matter how much experience she has. It doesn't matter what other accomplishments that she's gotten. It doesn't matter how horrible the crimes committed by the other person. The person could literally be someone who takes a person's body from them without their permission, the R word. I don't want to say that on the radio this early in the morning.
Understood.
And we are still not ready to have a woman in charge. Meanwhile, women have been running households, been running revolutions quietly and being told to sit down and be quiet the whole time. It's really heartbreaking for me, and I want to tell you, honestly, I feel unsafe, like watching the people on the internet with their, before all of this, like leading up to the election, the things that people were saying that were voting Republican, the reasons that they were giving was nothing that was for the well-being of the country. It was all about mine.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
What about me? 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 Completely disregarding what those policies would do and how they would impact people that don't look like them. And if they don't think and Trump is going to put a whole bunch of people in jail if he gets the chance. He's not someone who leans towards the sides of justice. And I don't know why anybody, I was going to say I don't mean any offense, but if you're offended, be offended.
Yeah.
I don't know why any person of color or woman or person who doesn't make $1 million a year would vote for that man. I just don't understand it. I'm disappointed and heartbroken, and I was up until 4 a.m. crying like a little baby.
Wow.
Because I was terrified. Like, it was my initial reaction was fear, like visceral fear for the safety of my daughter. And for the safety of myself.
Yep.
And the other thing is, with him, if he gets to do what he says he's going to do, we will never go back to anything as far as our government processes and our participation in government and the presumed objectivity of our government will never be the same. It'll be weaponized against us by a guy who thinks that people in the military are suckers and simps and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just having a really hard time with it. I'm just not even going to lie. But the biggest thing for me, though, is just the the feeling of being unsafe now, and I might be unreasonable for feeling that.
No, that's your
But-
feelings. Anytime
see
you
how
have
you
a
feel.
Yeah,
anytime
that's
you
how
have
you
a
feel, for
feeling, I tell people, anytime you have something that you feel, that's as close to. We talk about what our old instincts used to be from like when we were cavemen and women and all that. That's
right.
instincts, and that's something that we
Yeah, no,
never
my
lost.
my visceral body is saying it's not a safe time for me. Not to mention the fact that all week they've been saying such and so passed away waiting for medical care for their lady parts. Such and so passed away waiting for lady care. Lady care. So and so passed away waiting for lady care. It's dangerous for women medically, like and it's written down that it's okay, like they're allowed to do this now, and it's terrifying. Not so that's my thoughts on it, and I'm really sad, but I'm glad y'all are talking about it, and I'm glad that people are talking about it, and it's just 4 years, right?
Hey,
Yeah, like my man says, just 4 years.
Well,
And can
not
I-
those Republican Supreme Court justices.
the justices are there. Yeah,
you
that's
know?
lifetime
Yeah,
stuff.
then there's that.
That exactly
My friend
does
pointed that out to
exactly.
me.
Like it's not going to be 4 years anymore because if he's able to do what he said he was going to do,
Yeah.
it's not just going to be 4 years of damage from this. Like these immigrants that guy was talking about is from stuff that Reagan did.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, my kid, I'm worried about my daughter, and anybody with children that are like 10, 11, little girls should be terrified. So that's just my take on it.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
And just
Thank you.
one
Thank you.
last thing. For those people that always just want to talk about everything and put it out there, if you didn't know, senators are elected to 6-year terms. So
There's already
it ain't
6
it ain't
there.
just 4 years.
Got 6 over there. You got lifetime over here.
man.
Yeah.
I get it. A friend of mine, we were talking, and they made that clear to me because I oftentimes would say the whole 4 years, only 4 years. And like, yeah, but you know, they have the power to, put people in place that are there for lifetime terms. And of course, we've talked about repealing those things, moving those things. This is once again where we talk about our local elections and why it's so important to pay attention and be knowledgeable of these local races, because guess what? Those guys graduate, men and women, they graduate up to the national stuff, and a lot of policies that they are pushing nationally, those are things they were doing locally, or the people that they get entrenched with, their supporters, etc. And so you have to pay attention to your local election. I pay more attention to the local elections than I do the national ones.
Yeah, man.
For that very reason. That doom and gloom is a real thing. I woke up with some of that, not all of it, but some of it. Part of me feels like we've dealt with it before, and because this isn't the first go around with him, even though it's a new whatever, it's like we here. You feel me? I'm like, I'm not gonna not get up and leave the house. I thought about this. I was like, what if I didn't leave? Think about, really? This what you're not gonna leave the house for? You had so many worser things than this.
Yeah,
and this what you choose to not leave the house for?
Exactly.
Man, get your butt over
Yeah,
there.
get up and get out of the house.
Yeah.
Get up, get out and do something. All right,
Ooh,
yes, sir. All right, we'll take a move from Stevie Wonder, a little something to inspire you. Of course, Douglas the Professor's coming up. So if you like a little Stevie and some old school, man, he's got it locked down.
What did he tell you to do? Keep on striving until you reach the what?
The high ground.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's low times. I know we ain't all happy. I get it. We ain't all, but
Yes, sir.
keep on going until you reach the higher ground. And guess what? You could do that without these people involved. Some of the things are gonna be a little more difficult. Some things are gonna be a little harder, but you still got a chance to reach the higher ground.
Yo, people, the higher ground is uphill.
Yeah, it is.
So whether you climbing the ladder,
Come on.
or coming up some type of incline,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to go through the hard stuff to get to that higher point.
You wouldn't want it any other way, because if you got to walk down the hill, you're gonna be like,
Nah,
this
man,
ain't
that's
fun.
where all the rain collects.
Oh, look at him.
Ooh, watch
we ain't
out.
even talking
Look
about
out.
weather.
Look out.
We ain't
Look
even talking
out.
about
We
turtles.
didn't wanna- Hey, I remember what the true Black American who called in
Talk to
was.
me.
So the first one is he was against Kamala because she was a prosecutor locking up all the black people,
Right.
and I wanted to comment on that.
Yes.
All I'm saying is, if you are a black person, please call in and tell me. I just want to hear you say that every time you're in court and you look across, that every single time you want your prosecuting attorney to be white. Because why wouldn't you want somebody that looks like you as the prosecuting attorney? Just to show the diversity, to show that there's a person that's in those rooms. The prosecuting attorney talks with
fair.
other people.
Right.
They work with other people.
Make recommendations.
You wouldn't want, thank you. You wouldn't want somebody in there that maybe has a diverse opinion to talk about the circumstances that got you to that point.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that always is, and I don't think she was the one that arrested you. I don't think she's the one that did whatever it was, the reason you were holding when you're not supposed to be holding. I mean, that's what I wanted to comment.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair. I've made that mistake. Where it was like, oh, well, they're just that. Now, I still don't care for the system.
Right.
Anybody that's involved in the system, which is
Yeah.
what I've stated. I got issues with that. I draw ire with that. But going after a person saying specifically that was their sole function and that's the reason why that is short-sighted. If you don't have the right sources, and so some people didn't have the right sources. I was one of them that have the right sources, and I was on some, man, they was just working with the people. And it's like, man, everybody working with the people. Now, which ones do you want to deal with? Which ones do you not want to deal with?
See that part.
Yeah.
That part. At some point, if it, and I've known some folks who needed. It's we can't run rampant and do stuff that is damaging to ourselves and damaging to other people. And at some point, you got to slow down. And if you're not going to take the time to slow down, unfortunately, things are going to catch up with you.
Yeah.
Now, do I want a bunch of brothers locked up? No, of course not. Of course not. That's not. I don't necessarily think that's the answer. But unfortunately, that's the consequence when you go off and when you start wilding out and you doing this and doing that. And would you rather have somebody like Kamala Harris helping you get through, or would you rather have, like you said, somebody else on the other side giving you more time than you actually needed and not really taking your future best interests at heart?
One last thing he said was he also said, as a true Black American, that we need our eyes open. Remember that because she's married to someone outside of her race. And I also am against that. First of all, that's a violation of our individual liberties. Am I right? I mean, we have the choice. We have the choice. We have the right. So why would I take that from her? If that's who she chooses, that's who she chooses.
Sure.
In fact, I thought her dating history was brought up during this campaign. And if you look, she has dated other people that look and sound like this gentleman who said he was a true Black American. That's just where she ended up at.
Right.
All the other brothers that had a chance with her, maybe that was their fault for not being able to lock that down. But Doug, he got it. So Doug wins the championship. One last thing is, you're promoting division. And I thought that's what we're not supposed to be doing in 2024.
Yeah.
Even the great Martin Luther King, what did he say? He wanted us to all get along, and he had a dream. This shows progress that she can feel comfortable to date and marry Doug. And I'm not against it. There are some of the most beautiful people, some of the nicest, most friendliest people in this world have come from a love from two different races. So I guess that brother doesn't listen to Prince because Prince is biracial, right?
I believe so. I believe he is.
So he ain't listening. I mean, when you just get down to that point, we're just starting to show our ignorance when you say stuff like that.
Right. I don't necessarily think that even that for some folks it may have something to do with it, but there are a lot of sisters out there who have been married to white men who are very successful and nobody comes after them. You know what I'm saying? Nobody comes. Candace Owens is a perfect example, right? And I'm not a fan of hers, but there are a whole lot of people that are. And I don't ever hear anybody say anything about that. That is all.
They be after her. They be dragging her.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I get you though.
They get, yeah, exactly. That's a whole nother. That's next time. That's next Wednesday.
Listen. Listen. They're gonna be, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you something. There are gonna be more Wednesdays after this.
Yes,
or you know what? Call back tomorrow. If you didn't get in today, call back tomorrow. Call back Friday, or just keep calling. And at some point, get your hearts hurt because we saw it. I'm gonna break it down for you. I ain't supposed to say this. We saw it. We know y'all was lighting us up. We know we didn't get to everybody, but guess what, guys? Just like I just said, life is gonna go on. Y'all keep on keeping on, keep on reaching the higher ground. I know you aren't happy. I know you're mad. I know you're pissed off. Been there, but we've been there before. I'm telling you, that's not going to say, oh, it's okay, it's better because we've been here before. But we have, though. We did this before. We did it once. We'll do it again. We have 100% track record when it comes to surviving these horrible things. Guess what? Keep going, dog.
Amen to that.
Keep going.
Ain't nothing else to say. That's a mic drop right there, son. Nothing else to say.